Everyone, it's the 9th of November 2024. I'm Gary Waterman. I am a former police constable, a Christian, which is incredibly important in all of this. And I'm a victim of this international government fraud that links to the facilitation of the most awful crimes against humanity, but most importantly and worryingly, the most innocent of all our children. And we're going to be talking about Donald Trump now and how it's a huge deception against humanity to make them believe that he is the saviour. Now, a few weeks ago, I acquired evidence linking Donald Trump through various ways to this international government fraud, but also to Exmoor Manor Freehold Limited, where I was part of the company where I acquired forged bank documents being produced, it appears, by Lloyds Bank, who are the managers of the finances for the Crown. And where I acquired evidence of international fraud and governments, organisations linking to and facilitating that, including the police, including the intelligence agencies, heads of military, most government organisations being implicated, and that being linked to the taxation system, giving them the ability to defraud the public or the masses through the taxation system, the banks being allowed to produce forged bank documents for illegal entity companies, criminal organisations, to then defraud the public of trillions of pounds worth of taxation contributions. So the evidence that I found, I was publicising, and over the couple of days of me publicising that is when the supposed assassination attempt of Donald Trump happened. The very next day, I was sent a little video by somebody suggesting that the person on the video had a premonition about that assassination attempt, and that as Donald Trump went down, he was a born-again Christian, and that everything would be okay and he could be trusted. I suspect that was all part of the deception, because they knew I was a Christian and I'm being guided by my Christian faith. So now they're coming in with this video. I mean, they've had various other things to try and provide an explanation for this system of fraud. One of them was to suggest that the Companies House system, registration system, had been infiltrated, giving the ability for somebody else to have attached all of the bank the documents to there, and that all banks should have been on high alert in relation to it. Well, my evidence shows that's not true. There's various other things they've done, but this is a next level, okay? And what we'll do, have a look at this video, and what I believe they're going to do is try and say that there is an extraterrestrial intervention in everything that we're seeing in the world now. And I believe this is why we are seeing videos of potentially holograms of spaceships, or let's call them UFOs, but I think there's another UAP, I can't remember. We'll call them UFOs in the skies over various cities. There's now information coming out about a large object heading towards Earth that's changing its trajectory. So they're now trying to suggest that may be a UFO. I believe this is a huge element of deception to try and make us be accepting of what they're going to be bringing forward, which will be some sort of full digital currency control of the humanity to enslave them forever into this criminal system. We've already had, was it last year, again, no coincidence, as I'm exposing the fraud, we're getting US pilots coming out saying that they've seen UFOs and showing supposedly footage of UFOs. And of course, we have the ability now of AI and CGI. It's very advanced now to make anything appear real. Now, there is, without a shadow of a doubt, a divine intervention in relation to all of this, but it is through the exposure of the evidence, of the truth of how these criminal organisations, our governments and those that control them, and those that work for the government, have been exploiting and victimising humanity for a very, very long time. And of course, you have to know how they're doing it and their method before you know what needs to be done to change it, to resolve it, to ensure that there is a suitable system in place to prevent it from continuing. Nobody is suggesting that, including Donald Trump. And of course, as I've just said earlier, Donald Trump is very significantly linked to the company that I was part of, and a system of fraud that links to child trafficking in such a huge way. And they will be watching everything that I am doing. So they will know about this system of fraud, the deliberate lack of accountability and liability through the fraud of the incorporations and the forged bank documents, etc. But they're still not making the right proposals. And you have to know and identify the problem to know how to resolve it. And they are not doing that. The only way is a transparent financial system where the masses can be the auditors of the finances, as well as the full verification of company and corporations to bring back accountability and liability, as well as some other methods. But of course, we've got such irrational thinking in the governance of our nations, and that's very likely because there is now a lot of evidence suggesting there's international drug trafficking. There's the adrenochrome element of this, of course. That means that there's potentially an addiction problem and an influence on the rational thinking of a lot of the people that are governing our nations. Now, God, I believe, has given us an incredible ability and a rational state of mind to use our moral integrity without the influence of any substances on our body and our mind to make the appropriate decisions to sustain and maintain our moral conscience and integrity to protect us all and protect humanity. If you introduce a substance that affects that rationality, then obviously you blur the ability to make the right decisions based on your moral conscience. And I think that's what we're seeing here, is potentially a lot of people are now involved in substances which have removed their moral conscience through the irrationality. And that's what we're seeing, I believe. So we can't rely on these people to decide on what the right method is to implement into humanity. And if we don't implement the right decisions very soon, then we run the risk of running a trajectory into a very dark place on this planet. And I anticipate that what we're going to be looking at is the implementation, with the support of Donald Trump, of full digital currency control of humanity, probably involving something similar to BRICS technology, which is a digital currency system. That uses blockchain technology, which is already linked to the system of fraud. Sorry, this lady's face is making me laugh the way I've got it paused on there. I do apologise. It's already linked through from my child trafficking, a case on the Isle of Jersey off the UK coastline, where there were many children appeared to have been murdered, and coming in from the evidence of the lead investigating police officers looking at that case, and it links back into blockchain technology very, very quickly. Okay, so it's compromised. So anyway, let's have a look at this video and you'll see what I was just talking about. This is the lengths that they are now going to.
Major galactic timeline switch has gone off. This was not part of the plan. It was triggered with the assassination attempt on Trump. What they're saying is that Trump and all the light workers and all the Earth Alliance members, aka all the people who are here to preserve and protect and safeguard and truly help with the ascension of humanity, we are all under a very powerful protection pact under the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Now, the Cabal had no business messing around with Mr. T because they violated the whole code. Earth Alliance and the Cabal have signed a treaty saying our members cannot be harmed. And because they violated that, what the Galactics have been able to do is they were able to step in and turn on what they showed us as a 5D operating system timeline switch for planet Earth, which, by the way, is what is causing all this crazy panic, chaos, excitement, passion, explosions on planet Earth.
Trump is under galactic protection because of who he is. Whether people like it or not, Trump has been chosen as the consensus leader to represent the US nation, and really he represents humanity. He represents the entire world because he's the one leader in our entire history who's actually taking a stand against the Cabal. He's the one who does not have conflicted interests in politics. He's a businessman. I get it, he has his own interests, but he is doing a lot of selfless work. There are specific key players that are completely under the protection of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. You may be under this protection. We definitely feel that we have this protection. We've met our galactic bodyguards. They introduced themselves in 2022, known as the White Wing Feline Collective of Sirius B, and they're a feline warrior tribe, and when they come in, they bring the lion army. You can't fuck with them.
They smell out the rats, like
we're
literally.
The 144th.
I'm not going to play any more of this, but you get the idea of where they're heading with this. It's a huge part of this deception, everybody. They're running out of ideas. This is an extreme way of trying to convince me and other people. It won't work. I'm being guided through divine intervention. There is absolutely no question. But the difference is I've got a rational state of mind, and I'm producing the irrefutable evidence of everything that I'm talking about. And therefore I'm in an ability or in a position to know what needs to be implemented, at least on a temporary basis, to transition us back into the realms of truth, transparency and trust. Everybody, please wake up, get behind this. We are being deceived. God bless you all.